Have you ever felt a silent scream building in your chest? A rebellion brewing in your soul against a life that feels borrowed? A life stitched together from the expectations of others, from the muted beige fabric of what is considered normal, safe, and acceptable. A life where you do everything you're told. You study, you work, you follow the path, but the reflection staring back at you in the mirror becomes more of a stranger with each passing day. This isn't just a feeling of being lost. It's the chilling realization that you are becoming an imposter in your own story. You are living a pre-written script, and the main character, the hero you were supposed to be, has gone missing. You feel it, don't you? That dull, persistent ache of untapped potential. It's the ghost of the person you could be, haunting the hallways of your mundane reality. It whispers to you in the quiet moments, late at night when the distractions fade. It asks you, is this it? Is this the grand adventure you dreamed of as a child? This endless cycle of comfort, consumption, and quiet desperation. You scroll through the lives of others, a curated gallery of hollow victories, and a part of you feels a flicker of envy, quickly followed by a wave of self-loathing. You see people who seem to have it all figured out, radiating a confidence you can only pretend to possess. You wonder what their secret is. What code do they live by that you have somehow missed? You try to emulate them. You read the books, you listen to the podcasts, you set the resolutions. But the fire dies out as quickly as it was lit, leaving you with nothing but the cold ash of another failed attempt. The world tells you this is normal. It tells you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to find happiness in the small things. It medicates your ambition with platitudes and numbs your dissatisfaction with cheap dopamine. Mediocrity, they say, is a comfortable home, but for you it has become a prison. A well-decorated, climate-controlled cage where your spirit is slowly suffocating. You smile, you nod, you play the part, but inside, a revolution is stirring. A deep, primal urge to burn the whole script, to shatter the cage, and to declare war on the suffocating fog of mediocrity that has clouded your existence. This is not another list of life hacks or productivity tips. This is not a gentle guide to finding your bliss. This is a declaration of war. This is an initiation into a different way of being. This is the young rebel's code. What you are about to hear is a philosophy forged in the fires of self-overcoming. It is a set of principles designed to help you systematically dismantle the weak, compliant, and fearful identity that has been holding you captive, and to build from the ground up a mind of iron and a will of fire. This is the path to becoming unrecognizable, not just to others, but to the person you were yesterday. It is a journey inward, a brutal and beautiful confrontation with the self, designed to unleash the dangerous power that lies dormant within you. So if you are content with your comfortable cage, turn back now. This path is not for the faint of heart, but if you are ready to answer the call of that inner rebel, if you are ready to finally meet the hero you were always meant to be, then listen closely. The war for your soul begins now. The first casualty in this war must be your excuses. This is the first, non-negotiable term of your rebellion. Here is a truth that will feel like a punch to the gut, but it is the medicine you so desperately need. Your life, in its current state, is a perfect reflection of your standards. Not your desires, not your dreams, not your hopes. Your standards. The level of mediocrity you are willing to tolerate is the level of mediocrity you will experience. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a volunteer. Every single outcome, every frustration, every feeling of being stuck is a result you have on some level accepted. This isn't meant to be cruel, it's meant to be liberating. The moment you accept this, the moment you take absolute 100% ownership of your life, is the moment you reclaim your power. The world didn't do this to you. Your parents didn't do this to you. The system didn't do this to you. You allowed it. You co-signed the contract of your own insignificance, and because you allowed it, You and you alone have the power to revoke it. This is the first win. The understanding that the keys to the prison have been in your pocket the entire time. Now, the real work begins, learning how to use them. The first article of the Young Rebels Code is the abdication of victimhood. This is the foundational principle upon which your new empire of self will be built. To be a rebel, you must first rebel against the most seductive and poisonous idea of the modern age, the idea that you are not responsible. The culture of mediocrity is built on the bedrock of blame. The economy is bad. My boss is unfair. My upbringing was difficult. I don't have the right connections. I'm just not lucky. This language is the lullaby of the weak. It is the soothing syrup that allows you to remain inert, to stay comfortable in your failure, because if it's not your fault, then it's not your responsibility to fix it. A rebel understands that blame is a surrender of power. Every time you point a finger, you are outsourcing your agency. You are handing the steering wheel of your life to the very person or circumstance you claim is oppressing you. You are saying, "You have control over my emotions, my actions, and my destiny." The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said it with brutal clarity. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This isn't just a clever quote. It is a weapon. It is the shield that deflects the arrows of misfortune, and the sword that cuts through the chains of circumstance. To abdicate victimhood is to perform a radical act of self-anointment. You crown yourself the sovereign of your own inner state. External events are just that, external. They are weather. You are not the weather, you are the mountain. The storm may rage, the winds may howl, the rain may beat down upon you, but the mountain remains. It does not complain about the storm. It does not wish the storm were different. It simply endures, rooted in its own unshakable foundation. Your mind is that mountain. Your thoughts, your reactions, your choices, these are the bedrock. Everything else is just passing weather. Think about the language you use every day. He made me so angry. This traffic is ruining my day. I can't believe she said that to me. In each of these statements, you are a puppet. You are giving inanimate objects like traffic and the careless words of others the power to pull your strings. The rebel reclaims this language. He made me angry becomes, I chose to react with anger to his words. This traffic is ruining my day becomes, I am in traffic and I will choose how to use this time. I can't believe she said that becomes, her words are her own. My interpretation of them is mine. This shift is seismic. It is the difference between being a passenger in a car hurtling towards a cliff and grabbing the steering wheel with both hands. It is terrifying at first because there is no one left to blame. The safety net of excuses is gone. If you fail, the failure is yours. If you are unhappy, the unhappiness is yours. If you are weak, the weakness is yours. But with this terrifying responsibility comes an exhilarating freedom. If the failure is yours, then so is the victory. If the unhappiness is yours, then so is the potential for joy. If the weakness is yours, then so is the capacity for strength. This abdication is a daily practice. It is a conscious choice you must make in every moment of frustration, every setback, every challenge. When you feel the familiar urge to complain, to blame, to find a scapegoat, you must catch yourself. You must see it for what it is, an act of surrender, an attempt by the old, weak self to reclaim its territory. You must consciously, deliberately choose the path of ownership. Ask yourself not, why is this happening to me? But what is this situation demanding of me? Ask not, whose fault is this? But what is my next move? This is the mindset of a king, not a pawn. A king does not blame the board for his position. He strategizes his next move. The world is your chessboard. The pieces are your choices. Stop complaining about the game and start playing to win. This is the cold, hard ground zero of your transformation. Without this, nothing else is possible. You can have all the discipline, all the knowledge, all the ambition in the world, but if it is built on a foundation of victimhood, it will crumble at the first sign of pressure. The abdication of victimhood is the act of forging your own spine. It is the painful, brutal, and glorious process of becoming the sole architect of your reality. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are the creator of your character, and your character, in the end, will determine your destiny. This is the first law. Etch it into the walls of your mind. Live it, breathe it until it becomes as natural as drawing breath. The blame game is over. The war is on, and you are the commander of your own forces. The second article of the Young Rebels Code is the vow of solitude. Now, this will be misunderstood by the masses. They will hear solitude and think of loneliness, of isolation, of a sad and empty existence. The mediocre mind fears being alone more than anything else, because when the noise stops, when the distractions fade, they are forced to confront the terrifying emptiness within. The rebel, however, understands that solitude is not a punishment. It is a training ground. It is the forge where true strength, clarity, and self-possession are hammered into existence. In the modern world, you are being systematically conditioned to fear your own company. Your phone buzzes, the screen glows, an endless stream of notifications, messages, and manufactured emergencies pulls at your attention. You are trained to seek constant external validation. Every thought, every meal, every minor achievement is broadcast for the approval of a faceless crowd. Your sense of self-worth becomes tethered to likes, comments, and shares. You are living for an audience, and in doing so, you have forgotten how to live for yourself. The vow of solitude is a declaration of independence from this digital mob. It is the deliberate act of disconnecting from the noise of the world in order to reconnect with the signal of your own soul. This is not about becoming a hermit. It is about strategically and ruthlessly carving out time to be alone with your own thoughts, free from any external input. This means no phone, no music, no podcasts, no books, no distractions. Just you, your mind, and a quiet space. At first, this will be excruciating. Your mind, addicted to the constant stimulation, will feel like a caged animal. It will thrash around, desperately searching for a distraction. A torrent of anxious thoughts, forgotten worries, and cringeworthy memories will flood your consciousness. This is the detox. This is the poison leaving your system. The mediocre person flees at this stage. They grab their phone, turn on the TV, do anything to drown out the internal chaos. The rebel sits with it. The rebel watches the chaos without judgment. They observe the thrashing of the mind and realize for the first time that they are not the mind. They are the observer. This practice of intentional solitude is where the seeds of genius are planted. Every great thinker, every visionary artist, every titan of industry and history understood the power of solitude. It is in the quiet that the whispers of intuition can finally be heard. It is in the stillness that complex problems unravel and creative solutions emerge. You cannot hear the signal of your true purpose while you are constantly tuned into the static of the world. You have to create the silence. Start small. Carve out 15 minutes a day. Find a place where you will not be disturbed. Sit and do nothing, just be, watch your breath. Observe your thoughts as if they were clouds passing in the sky. Do not engage with them, do not judge them, just watch. This simple act is a profound form of mental strength training. You are training the muscle of focus. You are training the muscle of self-awareness. You are teaching your mind that you are in control, not the other way around. As you practice, you will begin to notice a shift. The initial anxiety will be replaced by a sense of calm. The mental chaos will give way to clarity. You will start to hear your own voice again, unpolluted by the opinions and expectations of others. You will begin to understand your own desires, your own values, your own truths. You will stop asking the world, "Who should I be?" And you will start asking yourself, "Who am I really?" Solitude is also the crucible of emotional resilience. When you are constantly surrounded by others, you can outsource your emotional regulation. Feeling sad, call a friend. Feeling bored, go to a party. Feeling anxious, post about it online. Solitude forces you to become your own source of comfort, your own source of entertainment, your own source of strength. You learn to sit with discomfort and transmute it into peace. You learn to face your own inner demons without flinching. You build an internal sanctuary, a fortress of the mind that no external chaos can penetrate. The vow of solitude is a rebellion against the cult of extroversion, the idea that value is only created in collaboration and connection. The rebel knows that the most important connection is the one you have with yourself. You must become your own best friend, your own wisest counsel, your own most trusted ally. You must learn to enjoy your own company so profoundly that the presence of others becomes a choice, not a necessity. When you reach this state, your relationships with others will transform. You will no longer engage with people out of a needy desire to fill a void. You will engage with them from a place of wholeness, of genuine curiosity, and of authentic connection. You will become a rock, a source of stability in a world of emotionally fragile people. Embrace the silence, seek it out, cherish it. Your phone is a leash, put it down. Your social feed is a hall of mirrors distorting your perception of reality. Look away, turn inward. In the sacred space of solitude, you will find what you have been searching for all along, yourself. This is the second article of the code. The world wants you distracted. The rebel chooses to be deliberate. The world wants you to be loud. The rebel finds power in the quiet. This is your training ground. This is where you will forge the clarity and inner strength necessary to wage the war ahead. We have established the ground rules. You have abdicated victimhood, reclaiming your sovereignty. You have taken the vow of solitude, learning to find strength in the quiet. Now, we arrive at the heart of the rebellion, the principle that separates the warrior from the worrier, the master from the mediocre. The third article of the young rebel's code is the embrace of necessary pain. Our modern world is built on a single, insidious promise, the promise of comfort. Everything is designed to eliminate friction, to remove struggle, to make your life as easy and painless as possible. Food is delivered to your door. Entertainment is available at the touch of a button. Social connection is simulated through a screen. We have become a culture of comfort addicts, and we are paying the price with our souls. Comfort is the enemy of growth. It is the siren song that lures you onto the rocks of stagnation. It is the warm, soft bed that convinces you not to face the day. It is the sweet poison that weakens your mind, atrophies your will, and dulls your spirit. The rebel understands that the path to becoming unrecognizable is not paved with comfort. It is paved with voluntary hardship. It is through the deliberate and strategic embrace of pain that you will forge the unbreakable character you seek. Let me be clear. This is not about self-harm or senseless masochism. This is about understanding a fundamental law of nature, adaptation. A muscle does not grow when it is resting. It grows when it is subjected to resistance, when it is torn down so that it can rebuild itself stronger than before. Your mind, your will, your spirit, they are all muscles. If you do not subject them to resistance, they will weaken and wither. The embrace of necessary pain is the practice of being your own personal trainer for the soul. This practice takes many forms. It is the cold shower in the morning. When every fiber of your being is screaming for the comfort of warm water, you choose the shock of the cold. In that moment, you are not just waking up your body. You are teaching your mind a profound lesson. You are teaching it that your will is stronger than your comfort-seeking impulses. You are starting your day with a victory, a declaration that you are in command. That single act of deliberate discomfort sends a ripple effect through your entire day. It is the workout that you do not feel like doing. It is pushing for one more rep when your muscles are burning and your lungs are screaming. It is choosing to run in the rain instead of staying on the couch. Every drop of sweat, every ache, every moment of wanting to quit that you push through is a deposit in the bank of your mental fortitude. You are not just building a stronger body. You are forging a will of iron. You are proving to yourself over and over again that you can endure, that you can push past your perceived limits, that you are not defined by your fleeting feelings of fatigue or discomfort. It is tackling the most difficult, most feared task on your to-do list first thing in the morning. The thing you want to procrastinate on, the phone call you are dreading, the project that feels overwhelming. The path of least resistance is to put it off, to do the easy things first, to give yourself the illusion of productivity. The rebel's path is to eat the frog, to face the dragon head-on. By doing the hard thing first, you conquer the psychological resistance that holds so many people captive. You prove to your subconscious mind that you do not run from challenges. You run towards them. The Stoics had a name for this philosophy, amor fati asterisk, the love of fate. It is the practice of not just accepting but embracing everything that happens to you, good or bad, as necessary and welcome. The rebel takes this a step further. They don't just wait for fate to bring them challenges, they actively seek them out. They practice what Seneca called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They periodically imagine losing the things they value most, their job, their relationships, their health. They engage in voluntary poverty, perhaps by eating simple food for a day or sleeping on the floor. Why would anyone do this? Because it is a vaccine against despair. By voluntarily exposing yourself to small, controlled doses of hardship, you build an immunity to the inevitable, uncontrolled hardships of life. When you have voluntarily taken cold showers, a broken water heater becomes a minor inconvenience, not a catastrophe. When you have pushed yourself to the brink in the gym, a stressful day at work feels manageable. When you have consciously confronted the fear of loss, you develop a profound sense of gratitude for what you have, and a resilient spirit that cannot be broken by misfortune. The world will tell you to seek pleasure and avoid pain. The young rebel's code tells you that this is the formula for a weak and fragile existence. True, lasting joy is not found in the fleeting pleasures of comfort and consumption. It is found on the other side of necessary pain. It is the deep satisfaction of knowing you have overcome. It is the quiet confidence that comes from having tested yourself against the fire and not been consumed. It is the inner peace that comes from knowing that whatever life throws at you, you have the strength to handle it. So look for the friction, seek out the resistance. Where in your life have you become too comfortable? Where are you choosing the easy path over the path of growth? Is it your physical fitness, your intellectual challenges, your emotional courage? Identify the area of least resistance in your life and declare war on it. Choose the cold. Choose the sweat. Choose the difficulty. Make pain your teacher, your ally, your whetstone. For it is in the embrace of that which you fear that you will find the strength you seek. This is the third, and perhaps most crucial, article of the code. The mediocre flee from pain. The rebel leans into it, knowing that on the other side lies their transformation. Let us pause for a moment. We have covered treacherous ground. We have declared the end of blame and embraced radical ownership. We have championed the power of solitude against the tyranny of noise. We have redefined our relationship with pain, seeing it not as an enemy but as a necessary catalyst for growth. This is the foundation. If you have truly absorbed these principles, you are already beginning to feel a shift. A current of power is beginning to flow through you, a sense of agency you may have never felt before. You are beginning to understand that the reality you inhabit is not fixed. It is malleable. It is a story, and you are the author. This brings us to the fourth article of the Young Rebel's Code, the forging of a new language. This may sound abstract, but it is the most practical and powerful tool in your arsenal. The prison of mediocrity is not built with bricks and mortar. It is constructed from words. The words you use to speak to yourself, the internal monologue that runs on a ceaseless loop in the back of your mind, defines the boundaries of your world. If you want to break free, you must first become a master of your own inner language. You must become a poet of power, a linguist of possibility. The average person is a prisoner of a disempowering vocabulary. Listen to the way they speak. I have to go to work. I can't lose weight. This is just how I am. It's impossible. I'm so stressed out. Each of these phrases is a self-imposed limitation. It is a brick in the wall of their cage. The word have to implies coercion, a lack of choice. It frames the activity as a burden. The word can't is a declaration of finality, an admission of defeat before the battle has even begun. This is just how I am is a life sentence of stagnation. Impossible is the word of the coward. Stressed is a passive state, something that happens to you. The rebel understands that words are not just descriptors of reality, they are creators of reality. They are spells that you cast upon yourself with every thought and utterance. To change your life, you must first change your incantations. This is a deliberate, conscious process of rewriting your internal script. Let's start with the most common offender, I have to. You will excise this phrase from your vocabulary. You will replace it with I get to or I choose to. You don't have to go to work. You get to go to work. You have an opportunity that millions would envy. You choose to go to work because it provides for your family or funds your goals or is a stepping stone to something greater. The action is the same, but the energy behind it is transformed from one of resentment to one of gratitude and purpose. You don't have to work out. You get to move your body. You choose to forge your physical and mental strength. This simple linguistic shift changes everything. It turns obligations into opportunities. Next, you will wage war on the word can't. This word is poison. It shuts down the problem-solving part of your brain. When you say I can't, your mind simply accepts it and stops looking for solutions. The rebel replaces I can't with how can I, or I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I can't lose weight becomes, how can I create a sustainable system for fat loss? I can't start a business becomes, what is the first small step I can take to start a business? This shift from a statement to a question opens up a universe of possibilities. It engages your creativity. It turns you from a passive victim into an active problem solver. You will also dismantle the identity statement I am. Be very careful what you attach to these two powerful words. The mediocre mind says, I am lazy. I am not a morning person. I am bad with money. These are not descriptions. They are commands to your subconscious mind to continue behaving in that way. The rebel reclaims this. Instead of I am lazy, they might say, I have been behaving in a lazy way and I am choosing to be disciplined today. Instead of I am not a morning person, they say, I am becoming the type of person who wakes up early to conquer their day. You are not a fixed entity. You are a process. Your identity is not a noun. It is a verb. It is something you are actively creating in every moment. Use I am to build the identity you desire, not to reinforce the one you wish to escape. I am disciplined. I am focused. I am resilient. Say these things to yourself, even if they don't feel true yet. This is not lying to yourself. It is giving your mind a new set of instructions. It is casting a new spell. Furthermore, you must change the way you speak about challenges. The mediocre see problems. The rebel sees opportunities or puzzles. A problem is heavy, negative, and draining. An opportunity is a chance for growth. A puzzle is an engaging challenge to be solved. When a setback occurs, the mediocre person says, oh no, this is a disaster. The rebel says, interesting. What can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? This is the essence of Stoic philosophy applied to language. It is the art of reframing. You cannot control what happens, but you have absolute control over the story you tell yourself about what happens. Is this a stumbling block or a stepping stone? The event is the same. The label you assign to it determines its effect on you. This new language must be practiced. At first, it will feel forced and unnatural. The old negative thought patterns will fight back. They have been running the show for a long time. You must become a vigilant guard at the gate of your mind. When you catch yourself using the old, disempowering language, you must stop. Acknowledge it without judgment, and then consciously rephrase it using your new, powerful vocabulary. This is mental weightlifting. It is difficult and requires concentration, but with every repetition, you are building a new neural pathway. You are literally rewiring your brain. Your internal monologue is the soundtrack to your life. For most, it is a funeral dirge, a constant recitation of fears, limitations, and complaints. The rebel's internal monologue is a war anthem. It is a symphony of power, possibility, and purpose. It is the voice of the coach, not the critic. It is the voice that says get up, not give up. It is the voice that says one more, not I'm done. Start today. Get a notebook and write down the disempowering phrases you use most often. Next to each one, write a powerful, empowering replacement. Read this list every morning and every night. Make it your new scripture. This is not about positive thinking in a naive sense. It is not about pretending problems don't exist. It is about speaking to yourself in a way that equips you to solve them. It is about forging a language worthy of the warrior you are becoming. This is the fourth article of the code. Master your words, and you will master your world. We now arrive at the final battlefield, the one where the war for your potential in the 21st century will be won or lost. It is a war being waged for the most valuable currency you possess, your attention. The fifth and final article of the Young Rebels Code is the war on distraction. In a world of infinite information, of endless feeds and notifications, the ability to maintain deep, unbroken focus is not just a skill, it is a superpower. It is the defining characteristic of the new elite. The masses are being systematically sedated, fragmented, and weakened by a deluge of digital noise. Their minds are scattered, their wills are fractured, and their potential is being siphoned away, one click, one scroll, one notification at a time. The rebel refuses to be a casualty in this war. The rebel cultivates a mind that is a laser, not a disco ball. Understand the nature of the enemy. The platforms and technologies that dominate our lives are not neutral tools. They have been meticulously designed by teams of brilliant engineers and psychologists with a single objective: to capture and hold your attention for as long as possible. They are digital slot machines, engineered to deliver intermittent, variable rewards that keep you pulling the lever, scrolling the feed, checking for the next hit of dopamine. Every like, every notification, every new piece of content is a tiny pellet of pleasure that conditions you to keep coming back. You think you are in control, but you are a subject in the largest psychological experiment in human history, and you are losing. The cost of this constant distraction is catastrophic. It is not just the time you waste, which is immense. It is the erosion of your ability to think deeply. Deep, valuable, creative work requires long stretches of uninterrupted concentration. It is in this state of flow that you can make connections, solve complex problems, and produce work that is truly exceptional. Every time your phone buzzes, every time you just quickly check your email or social media, you are shattering that fragile state of deep focus. It takes, on average, over 20 minutes to regain your previous level of concentration after even a minor interruption. If you are being interrupted every few minutes, you are spending your entire day in a state of shallow, fragmented cognitive function. You are operating at a fraction of your mental capacity. You are trying to fill a bucket that is riddled with holes. The rebel must be ruthless in defending their focus. This is not a matter of gentle self-control or digital detox weekends. This is a declaration of total war. It requires a strategic and unapologetic restructuring of your environment and your habits. First, you must sanitize your digital environment. Your phone is the primary weapon the enemy uses against you. You must disarm it. Go into your settings and turn off every single notification that is not from a human being you have a direct, urgent need to communicate with. No social media notifications. No news notifications. No email notifications. Nothing. The purpose of your phone is to serve you, not for you to serve it. It is a tool, not a master. By turning off notifications, you reclaim your agency. You decide when you will engage with the digital world, not the other way around. Second, you must create sacred, technology-free zones and times. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep and intimacy, not for scrolling. Buy an old-fashioned alarm clock and charge your phone in another room overnight. The first and last hour of your day are the most crucial for setting your mental state. Do not surrender them to the chaos of the digital world. Use the first hour for solitude, for exercise, for journaling, for planning your day with intention. Use the last hour for reading a physical book, for reflection, for conversation with a loved one. Guard these hours as if your life depends on it, because it does. Third, you must practice the art of time blocking. This is the practice of scheduling your day into long, uninterrupted blocks of time dedicated to a single, high-value task. During a time block, you engage in monotasking. One task and one task only. Your phone is on airplane mode and out of sight. All other tabs on your computer are closed. You put up a sign on your door if necessary. You create an impenetrable fortress around your attention. At first, this will feel incredibly difficult. Your mind, accustomed to the constant switching, will rebel. You will feel a phantom buzz in your pocket. You will have a sudden, urgent desire to just look something up. This is the withdrawal. You must breathe through it. You must hold the line. Each time you resist the urge to switch tasks, you are strengthening your focus muscle. Fourth, you must radically curate your information diet. The mediocre mind is an open sewer, allowing any and all information to flow into it without filtration. Breaking news, celebrity gossip, political outrage, endless streams of trivial content. Most of this is what the author Nassim Taleb would call noise, ephemeral, irrelevant, and designed to provoke an emotional reaction rather than to inform. The rebel is a ruthless curator. They are highly selective about what they allow into their consciousness. They unsubscribe from junk email lists. They unfollow accounts that provide no real value. They replace passive consumption with active learning. Instead of scrolling through a feed, they read a challenging book. Instead of watching random videos, they take an online course. They understand that their mind is a garden, and they are the gardener. They vigilantly pull the weeds of distraction and intentionally plant the seeds of knowledge and wisdom. This war on distraction is the final, essential piece of the code because it is what allows all the other principles to flourish. You cannot abdicate victimhood if your mind is too scattered to recognize your own choices. You cannot practice solitude if you are constantly tethered to a device. You cannot embrace necessary pain if you flee to a distraction at the first sign of discomfort. You cannot forge a new language if your inner voice is drowned out by the noise of the world. Focus is the thread that weaves all these principles together. It is the magnifying glass that concentrates the power of your will into a beam, so intense it can burn through any obstacle. The world will call you extreme. They will call you obsessed. They will not understand why you don't respond to messages immediately, why you disappear for hours at a time, why you are so disciplined with your technology. Let them. Their confusion is a sign that you are on the right path. You are not playing their game anymore. You are playing for different stakes. They are playing for likes. You are playing for legacy. They are playing for comfort. You are playing for freedom. They are playing for distraction. You are playing for mastery. This is the fifth and final article of the code. Defend your focus as you would defend your life. In this age of noise, the one who can control their attention controls their destiny. So there it is, the Young Rebel's Code, a 5-point declaration of war on the forces of mediocrity that seek to keep you small, compliant, and numb. Let us walk back through the battle plan, not as a checklist, but as an integrated system for forging an unrecognizable self. First, you made the foundational choice, the abdication of victimhood. You ceased to be a passive observer of your life and became its sole, sovereign creator. You took the heavy crown of total responsibility, and in doing so, you found the exhilarating power of true freedom. Blame became a foreign language, and accountability became your native tongue. This is the ground upon which your new identity is built. From this place of power, you took the vow of solitude. You rebelled against the tyranny of noise and external validation. You learned to disconnect from the world in order to reconnect with yourself. In the sacred silence, you found clarity, you built emotional resilience, and you began to hear the authentic signal of your own soul. You made yourself your own strongest ally. Hardened by solitude, you were ready for the next stage, the embrace of necessary pain. You rejected the siren song of comfort and instead made voluntary hardship your greatest teacher. Through the cold, the sweat, and the disciplined confrontation with fear, you forged a mind of iron and a will that does not break under pressure. You learned that strength is not a gift, it is a conquest. With this newfound strength, you undertook the task of the forging of a new language. You became the conscious author of your internal script, understanding that your words create your world. You replaced the vocabulary of the victim with the incantations of the victor. You started speaking to yourself not as you were, but as you were determined to become, rewiring your very brain for success and resilience. Finally, to protect and amplify all of this, you declared the war on distraction. You recognized that in the modern world, focus is the ultimate superpower. You ruthlessly defended your attention from the digital deluge, creating the deep, concentrated space required for mastery, for creation, and for the full realization of your potential. You chose to be a laser in a world of scattered light. Do you see how these principles are not separate tactics but a holistic philosophy? They feed and reinforce one another. Ownership gives you the power to seek solitude. Solitude gives you the clarity to embrace pain. Pain forges the will to rewrite your language. And a powerful inner language protected by unwavering focus makes you an unstoppable force. This is not a quick fix. This is a life's work. It is a path you walk every single day. It is a war you fight with every choice you make. Now, I want you to pause and ask yourself a question, and I want you to answer it with brutal honesty. When was the last time you truly felt proud of yourself? Not the fleeting satisfaction of a compliment or an external achievement, but that deep, bone marrow level pride that comes from knowing you have honored your own potential, that you have faced your fears, that you have kept the promises you made to yourself. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and saw not a stranger, but a warrior you respected? If it has been a while, or if that feeling is entirely foreign to you, know this. The person you want to be is not on the other side of a new job, a new relationship, or a new city. That person is on the other side of the war you are currently avoiding. The war against your own weakness, your own excuses, your own comfort. The Young Rebel's Code is your battle plan. It is the way through. The path will be difficult. It will demand more of you than anything has ever demanded before. It will require you to let go of the person you have been. You will have to mourn the death of your old, comfortable, mediocre self. But from those ashes, something new will be born, something powerful, something authentic, something free. You will become someone you not only recognize but deeply admire. You will become a force of nature. You will become unrecognizable. The choice is now yours. You can hear these words, feel a momentary flicker of inspiration, and then return to the comfortable anesthesia of your current life. You can go back to the scrolling, the complaining, the quiet desperation. The world will welcome you back with open arms. Mediocrity loves company. Or you can make a different choice. You can decide right here, right now, that today is the day. Today is the day you stop being a volunteer for a life you do not want. Today is the day you sign your name to this declaration of war. This is not about becoming an alpha in the shallow sense of dominating others. This is about becoming the alpha of your own life, the master of your own mind, the conqueror of your inner chaos. It's about building an inner peace so profound that the world's storms cannot touch you. It's about forging an inner strength so unshakable that no obstacle can turn you from your path. It is the journey from being a pawn in the game to becoming the player who commands the board. The path is laid out before you. The code has been given. The question that remains is not whether the code works, but whether you will work the code. The young rebel inside you has been silent for too long. It's time to let them speak. It's time to let them roar. The war against mediocrity is not won in a single glorious battle. It is won in the small, disciplined choices you make every single day, from the moment you open your eyes. It is won in the trenches of your daily habits. So I will not wish you luck. Luck is for the unprepared. Instead, I will leave you with a final question to carry with you into the battlefield of your own life. Look at the person you are right now, at the life you are living, and ask yourself with unrelenting honesty, what is one thing you are tolerating in your life today that the person you want to become would never accept? Your answer to that question is your first target. Go to war.